All right. Welcome, everyone. I'm Kate Trojanowski, the Director of Product and Engineering at Zorus, a cybersecurity platform exclusively for MSPs. And with me, I have Ann Westerheim from Ekaru, who's going to talk to us a little bit about providing services to small to medium-sized businesses and the IT community. Ann, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got into IT in the first place?
So, started the company 20 years ago, and I am an engineer by training. So I have 3 degrees in engineering. I'm doing this a really long time. Love technology. I worked in the semiconductor industry for a number of years, and then decided I was going to be a consultant to get more freedom around my time. And thought, okay, what can I do? I love engineering, love technology, and helping people and getting other people to embrace technology. So that's when I started the consulting company.
Very
And
well.
now time has flown by.
Yeah. Since 2001, you've been in business. And so how has that evolved throughout time? Where did you start? How has it grown since then?
Yeah, things have changed so dramatically, and it's kind of hard to remember that years ago, like when we first started, we figured small businesses need to just get on high-speed internet. So we partnered up with some local high-speed internet companies and just went out because folks were using dial-up and DSL back then. And I really have a passion for the last mile of technology and helping the folks, so kind of decreasing the digital divide, and that big companies shouldn't be the only ones that profit or benefit from technology, because it's really an equalizer and an energizer for any business, any size.
Yes, so that's what drew you to small, medium-sized businesses as your target market?
Yeah, so initially we thought of bringing enterprise class services to small business. So any 10-person accounting firm can benefit from being able to process documents online, scanning, paperless office. Any business can become more competitive with technology. Back then, that's pre-Google, and now technology is so ubiquitous. And I remember many years ago walking through a Target, and I saw a guy just texting, so a long time ago, and just thinking wow, now everybody's walking around with a computer in their hands. So it's just, things have changed absolutely dramatically.
So bringing technology in this day and era, a lot of people get scared of how it's going to change things, but really we find when we adopt it, that's where we can evolve and get creative. And so you've actually written a book, Cybersecurity for Main Street, Get Cyber Fit in 21 days.
Yes.
And that's a very digestible book, even for just an everyday user. Tell us what led you into writing that.
Yeah, so I just love technology. So I've always wanted to work in technology from when I was a little kid. And so one of my things is I had on my list of things to do that I wanted to write a book that sort of popularized technology, make it more accessible for everybody. And then with cybersecurity these days, small businesses, a lot of them don't realize it, but they're at a really big risk.
Yeah.
So I wanted to create something that would make people have more confidence about security, and not just lots of buzzwords and things, because people hear that and they're like, okay, well, that must not apply to me.
You're like, what does that mean?
Yeah. And so one of my points in there that I bring up, if you have a smartphone and you use Uber and you're using Netflix, like technology is all around us, so there's no denying it. Genie's not going back in the bottle. And so I'm encouraging people to just, okay, it's here, and there's some simple things you can learn about cybersecurity. And I guess sort of deep down, I want everybody to like technology and what technology does for us.
Yeah. What's your number one piece of advice to everyday users about how to keep themselves safe?
I think, strong passwords and multi-factor authentication. So that's the little
the extra steps.
The extra step that's so annoying. But basically, if somebody ever gets your password somehow, and through no fault of your own, because your bank could be breached, anything could happen, then that's an extra layer of protection. So if they get your password, they still can't get into your account unless they can get access to your phone or whatever method. So I think that would, the most popular passwords in the world are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the word password. So even really major events in the news kind of boil down to some just simple basics.
And if you're using those passwords, make sure you go change them now.
Yeah.
And how about for other MSPs in the community also trying to serve in small to medium-sized businesses? What would be your number one advice to help them thrive in this business?
Yeah, I think trying to really speak about technology in a way that's respectful to the business owners. Sometimes I hear people say, oh yeah, we have to talk down to the customer. I would say, look, some of our clients are running really amazing businesses. They're small businesses, but they're very successful, very profitable, and trying to explain technology and security in a way that's meaningful to them. How does it impact their business? How, why do they have to secure their business? We also do a lot of things that are just like absolutely kind of table stakes. We run them across the board. Things like the Zorus DNS filter we put in there for security. We put that right in there with patching and all the basics that we do for folks. Stays antivirus, MDR, etc. So it's come up with a sort of a standard baseline. Maybe there's a standard and there's an advanced. Some people would argue everything has to be at the advanced level, but
there's very basic things you can do that keep you safe and help manage the technology at the foundational level that everyone can understand.
Yeah, and I think even if you look at major breaches, when you read to the fine print, you'll see some server somewhere wasn't patched. It's not like amazing rocket science, kind of complicated stuff. Colonial Pipeline, there was a VPN that was still, an account that was still active for an employee who was no longer there, didn't have MFA on it. So like there's just really basic things that people can make a giant impact on to stay more secure online.
And that's how they get in. The cyber threats are not getting more mature, they're just getting more frequent, so we make silly mistakes.
Yeah.
So all right, well, thanks for joining us, Ann. And you guys can learn more by reading the case study that's linked in here, or by purchasing her book, which is absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
Really digestible, great even for a family member, not just IT. So thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Ann.